Good morning. Good morning. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, July 3rd, 2021, Saturday. Title of talk being Civil Field Engineering Quality Structure, that is quality AnnexSL, COVID-19 and HSC relations, designs, construction, quality, method, etc., etc., etc. All as usual, we talk every day. Certification of competency, another one, chartered competency and chartered status, professional competency and professional status. These certificates very few, can be many, depends. There are so many to get certificates, membership certificates, corporate certificates, title certificate, likewise, which indicate that person should have certain quality, certain role in society. What is that role? Profession tells, everything tells. And what we have to think about all this, that's also very important. Simply having role means one has to decide what should do, what one should do, what can do. It's also important. Quality, safety, dedication, commitment, obligation, will of a person. Simply having certificates doesn't mean that person is competent. Yes, it means that may be competent. It means that, but it doesn't mean the person is competent. It's very important point you have to understand. Everybody cannot be competent, that's also true. That's why I say certificate must prove that you are, and you must prove that your certificate is. You got my point. You get certificate once when you are due or you are competent or your qualification as such. It doesn't mean that it is valid forever. It is valid in terms of law, in terms of signature, in terms of everything. But really it is that you have to prove every time. If suppose somebody says person is a chartered engineer, okay, that's fine, that is certificate evidence, certificate evidence is there. You are a chartered engineer or you are a professional engineer or you are a chartered, whatever you are, that is defined competency, that is defined criteria, qualification, based on which you achieved, you obtained that certification. But real evidence comes when you work in your field, whatever field you have. When you work there, one works there, it is evidently, it is evidenced that factually that person is competent one. This is seal that doesn't tell, but this is authentic one, that's right, that some competent person has signed. But how far is that competent? Only another competent can understand, or public can understand. There are so many other certificates, corporate membership certificate, syndicate certificates, or you may say so many other group certificates. You can say corporate means so many qualified members, qualified people constitute one institution or own body which has been chartered, otherwise society, which also indicate that person is competent one based on criteria defined. My statement is something else. My statement is, do you have this? See, everybody has different role in society. We know that everybody has different role. But how far that different role works? Profession means a kind of a kind of working faith. It's not simply faith. When we talk of religion, we talk of faith, we talk of belief. Here, when we talk of profession, you see these two words, profess, are used both in your professional field as well as in your religion field. Somebody says, oh, he professes this religion, he professes this faith. While also it says person is professional one in this field. This person professes civil engineering, electrical engineering. This person professes medical science. It's also said both are professions. One profession is for upliftment, other profession is for self-enlightenment. Both are there. Here I am not talking of self-enlightenment. I am talking of self-devotion, that is towards society, towards world. Devotion, commitment, obligation, responsibility, liability, all qualities are included in that, and that is called professional service. Other one is entirely personal. This person professes Christianity or Islam. That is different. Both are professors of their field. Both, no difference. But what I am talking is quality of profession that can be measured, that can be worked out, that can be computed, that can be evaluated, and that comes only in professional services. It may be for production of goods or it may be for services. Quality is that part of life which can be defined in a number of ways. I can't stick to one definition because quality changes from one level to another level. It depends upon definition that is included with that system. There can be many criteria for quality definitions. At one place, whole definition applies, and at some place, half definition applies, or what you have to define. There have been many arguments, many debates. Unfortunately, it has been observed that people are not very much interested in conducting debates about quality and safety. Debate means real debate. Debate doesn't mean debate on webinar or on seminar. In 10-15 minutes, you cannot define something exclusively elaborately. Quality which I am talking is about engineering and life. Every time repeating same thing doesn't give anything. Every day I say quality is a question, quality is an answer, quality is a solution, quality is a chain. Every day we talk of this. Yes, that's true. It applies everywhere. How do you lead your life is also a quality system. How do you want, what standard do you have in society, what standard do you have in mind? Society comes later, comes first. Health. If my conscience is clear, my mind is clear, my honesty is good, certainly my quality shall be different, because I have taken out percentage or part of that greed or avarice from my objective. If I keep that greed or avarice in my objective, then I can't perform to that level which I am expected to do. So if you keep avaricious nature, if you keep all time that your greed is still valid, I don't think then quality can be balanced. You are paid or you are not paid, that is different issue. What you are paid, that is also different issue. That is between you and that person for whom you work, whoever it be, person or body or group of people or whatever you can say. You offer your services based on demand. Your services should be free of any pressure. You should be free to work with full will, complete devotion. You can say complete use of soul and mind, keeping in view that you are working for nature, you are working for world, and ultimately you are working for that power who produced everything. You understand what I mean? Because you work for that. You don't work for a person actually. When I do some development work, it is for earth. Keep in mind, whatever you do on earth is for earth. It may be for party, it may be for some client, it may be for some, but ultimately client is also not responsible for earth. It's just a middleman, you can say, who has managed that because of that person's luck. But ultimately, whatever you do, it is for earth. So when you do something, don't think that you are working for someone. You think that you are working for nature, you are working for earth, and therefore you are working for that power who created everybody and this earth. And that is, of course, namely we call it God. When I keep that in mind, also it is said in some documents, holy books, don't think that you are doing something for you. Don't think that you are doing something for someone. You only say, I am doing it for that power. It's very good actually. If you keep in mind that I am doing it for that power who did everything. Of course, you will be paid for by someone else, but you are doing on earth, and if you are doing for that power shall certainly help you. Even if you are a professional or not professional, whatever you do in this world, you work for that one. This is very good positive creativity formula. Don't think you are doing for you, because when you think that you do for that power, first of all, you will think of that power and not of destruction, because that power doesn't believe in destruction. That power deals in only for development, only for construction. Quality doesn't mean it should pay you. So quality and safety. Safety means survival. Safety means, it doesn't mean just wear helmet or safety shoe. It doesn't mean that. That is job safety, that is work safety. I am talking of complete safety, total safety, just like we talk of total quality, total safety, and total requirement of both. You have to define totality. Means one, first you should be safe because you have to survive. That safety factor is very important. But we don't care. Problem is this money or this avarice or this greed, that you know that point, that criteria when comes into mind, I have to save out of this, then things become different, things become entirely different, because my objective is money in that case, not quality. So I can reduce percentage of that quality that happens actually, or percentage means what I should do I miss that, or somebody also of the nature who does better than what's required. I am finding such kind of person who can add value to quality. but that is seldom. That's very rare, you can say. Quality must be achieved, but which quality must be achieved? Quality that you defined. You yourself define, just like you define safety. So I have to wear hard hat, I have to wear safety shoes, I have to wear belt, I have to wear apron, or I have to wear this overall. We define ourselves in how best we can be safe. I don't want to wear trouser or this lungi or this dhoti. While working, I have to be fit so that I remain intact and smart and alive. Means we define ourselves, or even there were people in past. If you see history, they did not care for all this. They just worked and thought of work all time. They even wore out everything except underwear and used to work. Still, some people are there. What I mean to say is, it's your own definition, your own criteria you explain to yourself. It's no one else will explain to you. There's no meaning of that. Means how best you can work, how best you can perform. That's up to you. So quality is such a term, like safety and health and environment. Such a term. You can't change environment. You can contribute, make it better. Safety is in your hands. Health is in your hands. As far as work is concerned, I'm saying you can drink at night. You can do whatever that you spoil your health. But as far as work is concerned, I'm talking about work. Work safety is not dangerous until you are careless. People can fall from heights, they die. That's fatality because somewhere something was wrong, some safety was missed. That's why person died. And due to some inconvenience, also people don't want to take care. So they are so confident, no problem, nothing will happen to. I'm responsible for myself. I've seen such statements from various workers. Oh no, it's okay, I'm fine. Ana masul, yani I'm responsible for what I'm doing. The Arabic people, many other people say, oh no, I'm responsible, don't worry. Means whatever you are responsible for what? Are you responsible for your death? You want to be? You are responsible against your family? You don't want to help your family just because of little inconvenience you find in work. You don't care for yourself. You don't. This means you are not going to die alone. Your people shall die with you. They will, of course, be rendered helpless towards whole life. You lose your body. You go. You are relieved. But your wife, your children, your dependents, what shall happen to you? You never think that. When you come to some work, we expect you go back safe to see your people. That's what's required in policy. Safety first, we always say. Quality first, we always say. If safety first is there, then quality can also be first provided. You have dedication, you have devotion, you have commitment, you have obligation, you have understanding, you can claim something. Just a falsely claim doesn't mean anything. Performance must be there. That performance is required. It's not only I'm just giving you what's written on this screen, but I say it must be. Every engineer should understand. I have seen claims by many engineers, structural engineers particularly. It's our job to give designs. It's not our job that what work is done on site. Quality is in those people's hand who work on sites. Okay, that's right. Physically it's okay, but design is yours. Don't forget that. Even if you are not supervising, that's okay, but design is yours. You should keep in mind. It's your duty, first duty, to make design in such a way that quality is achieved. And if that person who is responsible for quality must have a teaching from you, that person must learn, that person must be properly guided. You can't assume it's that person's job. Not at all. That person is second, you are first, because you are designer. Your objective is what you want to achieve. That objective must be made clear to that person. And how shall that objective be achieved? What is procedure of that? It must be clear to that person. If you can't clear that person, this means there's some point you can't get away from responsibility, because ultimately your product shall be big. When product is done on site based on design, it is happiness. It is, you can say, something new for designers. See, my product is done, or you find your product is not to your mark, you feel very upset. You start backbiting, or start blaming that person who did on site. That person, whatever knowledge that had, that person did accordingly. You did not put anything to augment knowledge of that person. That was your job. You missed that. You didn't think a lot. Indeed, I don't deny that. You think a lot. You have many imaginations. You consider codes. You consider formula. Everything you do. That's what way of design is. But that design is not finished when you issue drawings or related documents and you think that my job is over. Yes, as far as your case is concerned, your contract of design is concerned, your job is over. But job is not over, remember. This design is meaningful if it is done in field. Otherwise, there is no meaning of design. You can't keep it as copyright only. You can't say this is mine, this is my shelf. I don't care what happens on site, what shall happen on site. I have delivered it and that's it. This means you did not do your job properly. You did not make sure or you had no access to that level that you would be held responsible totally and that design is not worked out or not carried out. It should have been. Where is error? My point is that a designer does a good job, issues all details. A person working on site, we call prosecutor or site engineer, he least bothers. He does so much his way, complying with design and doing his own art, and result is that whatever was expected to be achieved, either it is too excellent, too good, or it has gone virtually completely wrong, completely against quality. Where is then fault? Either it is too good or it is too bad. There is fault. Why it's not in line to requirement? That's point we have to consider in quality system. See, no system can answer your question. In fact, it is only that person who designs, and it's only that person who physically works. There is no other person who can define. This means there should be proper communication between two persons, and communication is very powerful tool in world of profession. Not only now, it has been since profession developed. To start communication, of course, it can take time, but nowadays it doesn't take time. Drawing is a drawing is a a ground. Drawing is a ground on which you can write what to do. I'm not saying write essays. At least note should be given to that person. Don't depend upon assumptions. You can't depend on assumptions. Assumptions never help. Don't assume that that person will do itself. Don't depend. Even if that person is capable, you are more capable. Don't leave anything to uncertainty. Construction world is very expensive. It costs money, it costs time, it costs everything, and this costing, whatever it does, works for decades to come. So if you spend some time in messaging, some time to communicate to that person who can read on site just like that person reads drawings, technical details. This is also technical detail that one should say what you have to do. What you have to do. It can be included as a drawing or it can be included as a part of specification. Generally specifications are required, and we say general specifications are or see that no, Why you want to trouble that person? That person doesn't want to say anything. That person wants clear instructions, clear method what one has to do. Otherwise, that person will develop its own rubbish method and spoil work. And that is what has happened. Concrete world is different. It requires quality. If there is no quality in concrete, then there is no meaning of putting steel in that and concrete in that. Complete waste of time, waste of money, waste of everything. I'm not unsupporting anybody. I'm not supporting anybody. Just speaking a justification. I'm speaking justification of work. I have seen there are errors in all places all over the world. In our country, which is Bharat, India, it is very, very common that people don't care. Don't care. They can justify every wrong. They have capability of doing that. They can justify every error, passing blame to someone else. There are very few people who are honest and guess, no, I'm responsible for this. This is my error. I take responsibility and share my losses. There are very few people like this. Frankly speaking, they don't exist. Hardly 0.5% possibly who can respond. Quality system is not my system or your system. You have to comply with that. You have to design that. You have to define that. Like safety we define quality also. And based on definition of quality, cost is considered. Cost is not considered as a ritual or as a custom. No, because this is work, this is not society ritual. We have to consider every expense. Every nail is counted. Every hammer impact is counted. It's like specification of every good, every article. Just like we say, I buy a mouse, for example, computer mouse. What I see? I will say, okay, I'm paying this money, 300 rupees, 400 rupees, 500 rupees for this mouse, but for what? I am paying that amount. I pay that amount that this mouse shall work. If they may say 3 years warranty or 2 years warranty, on what basis they say? Did you ever think of? We have to think of. If they say this mouse shall work for you for 3 years, this means on what basis? What is basis? Is there any magic in that? What's there? If you go read that one, you'll find certainly that's written this mouse can perform to this level, 1 million click, 2 million click, like that somewhere it should be written. Means that click is unit of measurement. Though nobody is going to measure that, I am clear. They will say 1 million click or 2 million click or whatever they write. And those many million click will never happen. Nobody can count that, and means because if you go to that seller, I bought this mouse 1 year back, it's not working now. That seller also knows that whatever is written, it should work, because there was no control in making up of that, in production of that mouse. Will say, okay, I replace it. My replacement is not my requirement. That must be made clear. My requirement is performance. If every time I have to replace, how far can I replace? That's the point. Yes, this is very small item, and you don't bother about this. You replace it and I feel happy, okay, he's replaced, he's done his job. No, I don't accept this in his job. He issued fake statement for selling of that mouse. Why do you write on what basis that? Who shall count first of all 3 million or 2 million clicks? You have just written for sake of making people happy. But how many clicks in a day? Who shall bother about this? What I'm saying is sometimes people play. People play just to sell product. But we can't play in our profession, particularly in concrete or in materials which are very expensive like reinforcement. We cannot play with such production defects, manufacturing defects, because we are not wholly solely responsible for these materials. These materials are natural materials in our construction business, in our construction world. Generally, materials are from nature, and very little contribution is given by is given in is incorporated by ourselves. We use those materials, whatever properties those materials do have. We cannot extract out all impurities, but we use them to certain tolerances. We can't have any control on that. For example, concrete ingredients, whatever are there, generally all are natural. You can take rock, or you can say coarse aggregate, you can take sand, or you can say fine aggregate, you can say cement, which is manufactured one, but also it is made of limestone and silica and many other admixtures, chemicals. So you can say 90% material, 95% material is natural. Of course, it is crushed one. Water is there. Many more metals are there. So we can say we only can design. We can only say, these are my ingredients, weight or volume, I can design this will give this much strength. My relation to that material is designing to get some strength, not more than that. That strength and that mechanism which we use for design, or you may say method we use for design, is only very important. That is what it counts to quality. Quality of that trial mix, based on which we devise this is my trial mix and this is the result. I accept that for purpose of including on this project. There we stand. We conduct trials, we take slump, we test cubes. Likewise, we decide everything based on characteristic laboratory strength of that material, and we say, okay, we will adopt this in field for this concrete. This means our design itself from beginning, not only structural design, it is material science, you can say, design of material. How many times we design such trial mixes? By such trial mixes, every project does it, every major project. I have come in contact, I have come in this trial mix many times. Yes, there are record trial mixes also which can be accepted because these have been conducted somewhere, if these are genuine records. And we use that. This means design starts from there itself. We say design of mortar, design of concrete, or some other design, or we test materials like steel. Does it have its yield strength, or it doesn't have? What percentage of carbon is there? What it should be? Likewise, we can say design doesn't start only at structural calculations. It starts in nature itself, when it's natural material. What percentage of water and what components should be there in water? What is acceptable for purpose of construction and not acceptable for purpose of construction? We compare everything. It is standardization, and it is done for every material, whatever material we use. Even you brickwork, or you can say stone masonry, there are defined criteria. It should be this much or it should be that much. We can't go against that. This means at root of problem we decide, we conduct trials. How then quality cannot be achieved? That's my part, my question. This means nothing but ignorance, nothing but carelessness, just running fast to show that we are efficient. Quality raises a big question mark. Safety raises a big question mark. Safety and quality are required everywhere, in every activity in life, and in engineering, these must be a must. These are a must. And this is the right one. There's nothing wrong in that. There is no way out. Believe me, trust me, accept me. Without quality, without safety, health, and environment, nothing can work. Even if you don't consider it, it shall be involved. Quality shall be involved, maybe in negative sense. Safety shall be involved, maybe in ignoring sense. It shall be involved. If you don't care for your workers, you may see accidents. Yes. Why it has been different discipline? Safety, health, and environment, because of that reason. Why quality has become a different discipline, not mixed discipline like before? Because there are very ways, because we did not find quality in materials, we did not find quality in work. That was reason that these were specialized discipline, though these are not actually specialized. These are part of construction, these are part of mechanism, these are part of production, manufacturing. Quality, safety, health, environment. But now these are disciplines, okay, no problem. Just like there are other disciplines in engineering, these are also acceptable. It's requirement that everybody should be safe. Why should somebody suffer because of ignorance? One should not suffer. Now because construction has been so highly valued, you can say, if you go to see that one, what I mean to explain is that if you construct something, you have to see that what is actually safety I'm talking is. We say building practice, construction projects, civil plants, facilities, anything, whatever. Construction is done everywhere. It may be projects, big projects, civil projects, or other projects, or plants, or facilities, or whatever. Safety first we always call. Safety first we call. Safety. What is safety? Here we have to understand. Was there no safety before? Should we say that? Well, I would say no. There should be no such criteria that there was no safety before. Safety exists everywhere. That point we have to understand. Without safety we can't survive. But because there was not so pressure in past lives, maybe 50 years back, there were not so many projects except small houses or some bungalows, and people were experts. They knew how to do. They also considered safety, but that was not taken as subject. Now safety has become a subject or discipline which is very importable, which requires very much attentive, you can say, style, which imports your attention. That safety means I don't want to see accidents. I don't want to see some persons die because of my work. How my work is good if people die there during work? No, I don't want to. In fact, generally, not very literate workers are involved in this world of construction. Many accidents have been experienced on such projects due to reason of carelessness or neglect of work and supervision. Everyone is interested to do a fast delivery of proposed product at risk of personal attention and not caring for life value created anxiety, inculcates a feeling to make delivery at appointed date, even not availing ample rest and sleep properly. I have personally observed that works are not given adequate attention from safety viewpoint, though safety is too significant on such works, but is not given value to be strictly complied with. Many incidents have been reported regarding collapse of crane booms, scaffolding and building slabs during ongoing construction around the world. Scaffolding was a failure even on certain international airport construction. For some transport system, failures on supporting works have been reported. Indeed, on plant facilities, safety care is intensively ensured. Even after so high level of safety care, bad incidents have been reported. I understand my duty to share my experience about safety requirements with fellow professionals in engineering construction sphere so that experience dissemination be effective. I have done, say, included with this publication are many topics about project construction, safety, respecting practical aspects. On activities conducted, only few statements have been included that may cover a large scope of common construction faced by common engineers and particularly to help support problem solution that are faced by budding engineers. Many safety management statements have been included, from policy making to tools handling, and then taking off to actual works on site. All activities could not be covered yet. An idea has been conveyed about questions in my mind. More statement and methods about how to handle safety issues can be developed. Certain 35 chapters involve methods, line management, line organization, site middle and executive management, executive organization. Certain sketches have been composed for information purpose to apprise about requirements. Chapters have been based on actual works affected in field as part of office engineering, field engineering organization management without including imaginations. Many years of information have been used to produce this work. A model organization chart over integrated management chart has also been included just for reference only. Certain activities have also been mentioned that require checks on site. It's my spiritual interest to produce certain works that may help engineers for continuous professional development support. I have stock of other works respecting construction method statements, plants, facilities, procedures, and many site-based management documents under working, publication of which shall depend on results. Particularly, construction method statements assist should assist actual work, prosecution on sites, and cannot be extracted from available books on globe. Similarly, no texts are available that provides comprehensive information about projects prosecutions, strategies, and it's always problematic for engineers to refer all such documents, result to which to that lack of information leads to drop from management level. Certain chapters namely are for information only, that is safety policy, management organization system, site security, hand tools, first aid regulations, permit to work, housekeeping, safety training, emergency and evacuation plan, fire protection, PPE, excavation safety, control, storage and use of hazardous materials, incident reporting, lifting, rigging and hoisting, radiography operations, night working, scaffolds and ladders, temp cutting, working at height and fall prevention, abrasive wheels, construction environment control, hazards control, confined space entry, road safety and vehicles operation, reward system, compressed gas cylinders, heat stress, safe practices, disciplinary enforcement, safe work, inspection and audits, plants facility project, construction safety, relevant sketches, safety related sketches, organization chart. This is just a may be discussed, not necessarily now. Just I'm just taking before that safety policy. I have already safety policy is very important for everybody because which one I write by mistake I got the other one. Let us say safety policy. When we call organization and when we call management, what do you mean by that? Do you know that? What is organization and what is management? Well, I think management is kind of a word that has been, dominated by, I think, man. So I try to avoid that word, that term management. After all, what we manage? What do we manage? Question is that. Of course, understanding is same, meaning is same, but why we say manage? What do we manage? We manage nothing, in fact. It's beauty of word only that we use. This is management. What is management? I of some development. You are a part of that development. Organ means just like we say, in my body, how many organs work? We never say my body is not managing properly. Did you ever hear that? We always say, medical science always say, organ failure, multi-organ failure. They never say management failure. They manage medicine, that is different. But body doesn't manage. Body is a system. It manages or organizes of world. What do we say that? What is sun? What is moon? What is solar system? It's a kind of organ. Solar system is an organization for earth, because earth is also a part of solar system. They have organs, like we call them planets. They have different roles, and our part of organs. Without these organs, without sun, without moon, without sky, without many other, can we survive? Who is managing? No one is managing them. So I say we consider these orbital planets as organs for us, particularly sun, which is, you can say, powerful and exclusive organ of solar system that helps ourselves, whole humanity, survive. If that organ is not available, we can't take food, we can't survive. We don't have light, we don't have power, we can't survive. So there should be an organization for everything. Organization which we are talking, now it's about practical world. It says wherever organization yours is, government organization, private organizations, corporate world, your own work, freelancing, whatsoever, there is certain you can say root, there is certain trunk, there is certain leaves, branches, and somebody is located somewhere. Some is located in fruit, someone is located in root, soil, and someone is located somewhere, and that complete system is built up. But we have to define something to ourselves. Now, because we are talking of development, I'm talking of development, and that development can take us to various other topics like building plants, like non-building plants, quality system, quality as a whole, which is a part of development. The safety is a part of development. Just like buildings part of development. And now, because safety, that is start of everything. Work or no work, we say safety is a must. Work or no work, safety is a must. Your safety, everybody's safety. In safety, yes, safety is costly. You have to pay. There should be work. So what we should think of, my point is that safety is defined, I know, but we have to rethink on that. We have to reevaluate that. What's the problem in this? If I reevaluate, if I rethink, there should be no problem. Organization that I'm calling is organization. Some people will call it management. I don't dispute on this, but I'm calling it organization. And even if it is written management here, I will say organization. Replace this management with organization, or management organization, you can say. So organization believes into adopt a policy. Now I'm talking of our own organization. Suppose I have an organization, I am referring to that. Organization believes in to adopt a policy of lead contracting. I am talking of a contracting. Lead contracting to aid to development of nation. Of course, there should be some nation. And procurable infrastructure and resources to serve reputed customers. client's needs by action of which to earn its reputation. Your reputation lies with you, not with somebody else. That is. To deliver products or projects efficiently with value added over to fulfilling requirements. Value added over to fulfilling requirements is most important point. You have to remember this point. Just fulfilling requirements plus something on that is now a requirement. Value addition, it is called, means you have added some value to expectation, and that value is different. That can be value in quality, it can be value in safety, it can be value in some project to work for 25 years, 30 years, and it works for 40 years, that's 10 years is value. Customer may get what has been paid by for such delivery. Value engineered delivery certifies and assures organizational commitment in competitive environment. Top organization believes to employ suitably qualified key leaders and personnel with proven track records, professional base, international professional base, considerable construction, relevant business experience. All managers, key personnel are directed to ensure that following description scheme expect their employees to do for project. That is point here, and you have some time to read this. Maybe I zoom it further so that you can read it better. It will take some time for you to read it. 10 minutes I need just to go out on my leg stretching, because leg is always a problem. You know that 10-15 minutes I take because my leg is to be stretched. Otherwise I may not be able to sit with you for this talk.